Hi there, friend. I'm so glad you could join us today. I want to talk to you about something very honest. Not something perfect or hard to understand, but something real. Something that a lot of us feel but don't say out loud very often. I want to talk about the life you believe you could have but haven't yet. You might have a dream, a goal, or a person you want to become. You think about it a lot. It might be there every morning when you wake up. It stays in your mind even when you go to sleep. I really believe this dream is real. You can see it well. It's so real you can feel it. But something feels different when you look at your daily actions, habits, and choices. The dream seems very far away. It's not impossible, but it's also not real. You might talk English with confidence in your mind, but when you're with other people, you keep quiet. You might want to start something new, but it seems like every day is the same. You might picture a better you, but you don't take the first step toward that. Hence, this takes place. Your dream is not coming true. In your mind, you are only going there. And slowly, a gap shows up. There is a quiet but painful gap between the life you dream about and the life you live. It's not the space between two people that makes me sad. It's the difference between what you are and what you could be. This far away doesn't show up all at once. It takes a while to grow. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," each time you wait until you're ready. It gets worse every time you sit back and do nothing. And then one day you feel it not as a big failure, but as a quiet anger. A sense that there is something missing. We're going to talk about that gap today. Why is it there? Why do so many people think about their own things all the time? This is more important than how famous people who have real problems and fear learn to move from thinking to living. This is because the truth is simple but not easy. You can't just think about your life and not live it. This isn't a class. I'm not going to tell you what to do. We are just having a chat. Keep going with me, and let's go a little further. Let me explain something, and please let me know if this sounds familiar. You are going to work. You could be taking the bus, riding a motorcycle, or just walking down the street. Your body is there, but your mind is somewhere else. A movie starts to play in your head slowly. You imagine that you are having a chat with someone and that they aren't listening to you. You picture yourself in a meeting where you can freely share your thoughts. You think about quitting your job and starting your own business. You picture a different life for yourself, one where you are sure of yourself, free and fully living. It feels good, too. You feel safe with that movie in your head. It feels great. For a moment, it feels real. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. Maybe even some drive, but only for a short time. After that, you get to your goal. The bus comes to a stop. You get to work. The show is over. Things don't change when real life starts. This is the life that's going on inside your head. A lot of people have one. A peaceful life alone, where everything works. Where you are stronger, tougher, and more sure of yourself than you really are. A place where you keep telling yourself you will do things someday and want to do things you wish you had done. It's not the dreams that are wrong. It's okay to dream. In fact, your mind is very strong. It lets you know what's possible. The real trouble starts when you can't get rid of the dream. once you do it a year and don't do anything because something bad might happen, the dream starts to take the place of action. It makes you feel like you're making progress, even if you're not. There's a reason for this too. Thoughts are safe in your head, so your brain likes them. You do not fail. You don't feel bad about it. No one judges you. You get what you want. Things aren't always clear in real life, though it is possible to mess up. Some people might not get you. You might not feel good. That's why your brain picks the easier choice. Do not enter the real world. Stay in the story. To finish, I'd like to ask you a sensitive question. Please be honest when you answer. In your mind, how long have you had something you want to do but haven't? 1 month? 1 year? 5 years? Or even longer? Is something new beginning? Does it make a difference in your life? You already know what it is, so don't say it out loud. A person made plans to write a book for 20 years. Not a year or two. 20 years. He thought about the story every morning. He knew about the people. He knew the books. He knew how the book would end, too. The book was already done in his mind. He promised his friends, "One day I will write it," because he was so sure of himself. They believed him, but the truth was easy to see. He didn't write a single page, not a single one. His daughter asked him a very easy question one day. "But are you going to write your book, Dad?" He smiled and told her, "Soon." She looked at him and said something he would never forget. I told him, "Dad, soon is just another word for never." He couldn't sleep that night. He didn't, not because he didn't have time, but because he knew something painful. In his mind, he was living his dream, but not in real life. And maybe you have your own story about that. It could be a language you've been learning for a long time. You understand a lot of what you see in movies, but don't talk. It could be a business idea you've had for a long time. It could be a change you keep telling yourself you'll make when the time is right. Soon really feels good. It doesn't ask anything from you, but it keeps your dream living. It keeps you safe from failing, being uncomfortable, and going through change. I'd like to take a moment to say something important that I really mean. I know that life isn't always easy. I'm not here to tell you that you need to work harder, that you are lazy, or that you don't want it enough. That's not true. That's not what this conversation is about either. A lot of people really have a hard time in life. It takes real work every single day. You're tired when you wake up. You have duties to carry out, things like health, family, money, and work. Other people can't see what's inside you. Some of the things you regret, are afraid of, or hurt you in the past. You'll remember some events for longer than you think they will. They make you feel less safe in the world. Fear and self-doubt are real. Then ritual to be tired. Don't use these as an excuse. They're part of being flesh and blood. Being brave doesn't mean not being afraid. It takes courage to do something even though you're scared. That's not why you're afraid. The real question is why we don't do things through fear. We know what we want, so why do we keep getting stuck? I'll tell you the real reason. The real truth, not the easy one. This is the first reason. We don't want to fail in front of other people. We think we can fail without getting hurt. We can imagine that we speak English correctly, and if we make a mistake in our minds, no one will notice. No one looks down on us. In real life, though, things are different. People are there when you talk. They pay attention. They answer. That puts pressure on things. Like, you might understand English very well when you listen. You might even be able to make up words in your head. But something happens when you talk in front of other people. It makes you think less quickly. Your heart is beating faster. You start to worry, what if I say it wrong? What if they don't get it? What if they think I'm not good enough? This is what your mind does. Your brain wants to keep you safe. Being judged is scary to it. Not danger to your body, but danger to your emotions. It sends a message. Don't go. Don't talk. At that point, it feels easier to stay quiet than to try. That's why lots of people don't talk. They don't want to make a mistake because they don't know enough about it. Not because they don't know enough about it, but you need to know this truth. The very moment you're trying to avoid is the one that makes you grow. You will never get better in public if you never fail. You can't build confidence if you never feel bad about yourself. And your real life will stay the same if you stay in your head where everything is fine. This is the second reason. We don't think we deserve it. It's very quiet, but it's strong. A voice inside many of us says, this kind of life is for other people, not for me. You might not say it out loud, but you feel it all the time. When you want to say something but don't, you wait when you want to try. I'm not smart enough. I'm not confident enough. My English isn't good enough. I didn't have the same opportunities. But other people are different, and this belief keeps you from moving forward. It starts to feel true not because it's true, but because you say it so often. What are you going to do? You stay in a safe place. You find out some things. You watch movies. You think a lot, but you don't do anything. You can't fail if you don't try. Also, you don't feel bad if you don't fail. You don't feel open. You can keep your picture safe. A lot of people don't see the secret cost, though. You don't grow if you don't try. You don't find out what you're really good at. You have no idea how far you can go. There is a safe but small part of you that you stay in. The third reason is next. It's hard to change. Change, even good change, is always hard at first. A lot of people don't get this. They believe it should be simple if this is good for me. But change that lasts doesn't always feel easy at first. Your brain isn't made to help you get bigger. It's meant to keep you safe. And in your brain, safe means no. Your brain still wants things to be the way they are, even if they aren't. Good. It knows what you mean. That's why some people don't quit their bad jobs. Don't change habits that don't help them. Keep living a life that makes you feel limited. They know it, not because they love it. Your brain changes every time you try. Something new. When you want to learn English, your brain tells you, what if you say it wrong? When you want to make a change in your life, it tells you, what if it fails? It's not because you're doing something bad, but because you're trying. Something new, and new things are always scary. A lot of people stop at that very moment. They don't like it and think, this isn't for me. That's not true, though. If you feel that way, don't stop. That's a sign. It means you are not in your safe zone. This is where things start to change. Your life will stay the same if you always do what makes you feel good. But things start to change if you can stay in that awkward moment a little longer. You get stronger. You feel better about yourself. Not because it's simple, but since you didn't run away, you can start to see a bigger picture when you put these things together. The fear of being judged, the belief that you don't deserve more, and the pain of change. These are not problems that only affect you. These trends come from people. They happen to almost everyone. Rich people don't not feel fear, but that's not what makes them different. They don't wait for the fear to go away, which is different. They know that fear might last a long time, but they keep going, one step at a time. Even if it makes them feel bad or if they aren't ready. And a small choice to act, even though you're scared, is what changes things slowly but surely. And I want to show you this through regular people, not famous people or people with special powers. Some people, like me, were scared and not ready, but they chose to try anyway. So let's not just talk about ideas. Let me show you how this works in real life. Please pay close attention to these 3 short stories. One of them might make you think of yourself. The first story is about a woman. She was 38 years old. She had wanted to study for a new job for 15 years. Not 1 year, not 2 years, but 15 years. She told herself the same story every year. Not yet. The kids aren't old enough. There isn't enough money. When the time is right, I'll do it. It made sense all the time. It always made sense. Because it made her wait, which is why it was so dangerous. She was waiting in a hospital one day. It's just a normal check and nothing important. To pass the time, she picked up a magazine. She read about a 52-year-old woman who had just finished from college inside 52. What the woman said was simple but strong. It took me 20 years to wait for the right time. After that, I saw that the right time would never come. I've already begun. She kept thinking about that line. It made me feel bad because it was true. That day, she did something different when she got home for the first time. She didn't believe it. She didn't make any more plans. She took her first class not because she thought she was ready, but because she knew she would never be ready. It wasn't easy in the beginning. She was worn out. She wasn't sure of herself. She didn't always understand the lessons. She felt like stopping sometimes. She didn't, though. She went on step by step. After 4 years, she had a new job. It's not perfect or easy, but it is real. Let me talk about someone else now. He had learned English for 6 years. 6 years. He could read, listen, and understand most things. But when they spoke, that was a different story. His body worked out every time he had to speak English. He lost his mind. His heart beat quickly. He began to speak, but stopped in the middle, said sorry, and then went back to his own language. His company sent him to a meeting in a different country one day. He had no choice this time. No one spoke the same language as him. He couldn't talk to anyone if he didn't speak English. It was hard the first day. Very hard. He tried to talk, but his words were getting lost. People didn't always get him. He used the wrong word once, and the whole meaning changed. He felt bad about himself. He meant to stop talking, but something important took place. No one laughed. No one left. Folks paid attention. They asked things. They tried to get it. And then slowly, people started to talk. There won't be perfect talks, just real ones. It changed in some way by the third day. He still did bad things, but he stopped being quiet. He also learned something that made everything different. It's always better to speak imperfectly than to be completely silent. There was also another woman. She had an easy dream. It was her dream to make something herself and start her own business. Not a big deal, just her own thing. But everyone else told her the same thing. It's not safe enough. It's not steady. What if it doesn't work? She was scared, but she did it. Anyway, it was hard the first year. She didn't make much money. There were weeks when she didn't sell anything. It took a while for her hard work to pay off. Many nights, she sat by herself and thought that maybe they were right. It's possible that this is wrong, she cried. She wasn't sure of herself. Several times, she almost stopped. She didn't stop. No, not because she was sure of herself, but because she understood something. It felt worse to stop than to keep going. Even though it looked like nothing was working, she kept going. After 3 years, her little business made enough money for her and her family to live on. She didn't say the work was the hardest part when people asked her what was. She said the hardest part was having to go to work every day even though nothing was going right. 3 different people with 3 different lives, but every story has the same truth. They weren't ready, they weren't sure, they didn't have faith. They started, though, even though it was hard, unclear, and there was no promise that it would work out. Starting changed everything. Don't worry too much about how their stories end. Don't think about how well you did. Pay attention to the start. You can start even if your life isn't great. You just need to make up your mind. And maybe the real question isn't, can I do it? Could the real question be, am I ready to start even though I'm not ready? I'm going to say something that might make you feel bad. But I have to because it's true and you might need to hear it. Time is not going to wait. It's moving slowly every day. Time is moving forward as you listen to this. As the days go by, they become weeks, then months, and finally years. The years really do go by faster than you think. This is not meant to scare you. This is meant to wake you up. Because it's easy to stay the same when you don't notice how much time has passed. I want you to really think about this question. Do not move quickly or easily. Where will you be in 5 years if you don't change anything about the way you live? How will your life be? Have you thought about the dream again? Are you still going to say soon? Because lots of people think something sounds good. They think, I'll be ready one day. One day, when I'm sure, ready, and full of confidence, I'll start. That's not how things work in real life, though. You're not ready to start yet. You start, and then you slowly get ready by making mistakes, by learning, and by moving forward even when it's hard. Life is like that in every way. You don't build confidence in your mind, you do it in real life. You don't get better at something by thinking about it. You don't grow when you plan all the time. Growth happens when you do something, which is why it's risky to wait. Waiting makes you think you're getting ready, but you're really just putting things off. You're not getting ready because you're waiting. The wait is what's wrong. You could have learned something small every day that you wait. You can't get back the time you wait every year. This is the hardest part. You don't feel it right away. It takes time and is quiet. When we're scared to start, we often tell ourselves one more thing. I don't have enough time, we say. Also, yes, life does get busy sometimes. That's real. But most of the time, I don't have time means I haven't decided on this yet. We find time for things when they become really important. It might not be a lot, but it's enough. Take a small step every 10 minutes or 15 minutes. That's not the real question. Do you have time? You have to decide if you want to use your time for the life you want or for the habits that keep your life the same. And that choice, no matter how small, is what changes things over time. Okay? We've been honest about what's going on. We talked about being afraid, thinking too much, and waiting. Let's talk about something more important now. What to do in real life, not just in your head. I'm not going to give you 10 hard steps because most people already know what they need to do. They understand what to do. Why do they not do it? That is the real problem. I'm going to tell you for easy things. They're not perfect or amazing, but they are real and work if you follow through with them. This is the first thing. Name it now. Do not avoid it. Do not say anything, or maybe make sure you're clear in your head or on paper. List the thing you've been wanting to do but haven't had the time to do. It could be taking English seriously. It could mean getting a new job. It could be the start of something small. It could be having a tough talk you've been putting off. Make it clear. I'd like to be sure of my English. I'd like to change jobs. I'd like to start my own project. I want to make things right in my life. It stays unclear when you don't give it a name. And it's easy to stay away from things that aren't clear. It stays in your mind as a thought, not a real path. But something happens when you name it. It comes true. It turns into something you can do. A dream that has a name is already more likely to come true. Also, I want to say something important. A lot of people are scared to name their dream because you can't hide from what you say when it's clear. You might as well act, or you might as well accept that you aren't, and that might not feel good. That pain is real, though. Being honest is the first step toward change. This is the second thing. Find just the first door, not the whole set of stairs. A lot of people get stuck here. They don't start because they're too busy, not because they're lazy. They see the whole twit. I need to speak English very well. My whole life needs to change. I need to make a big thing. And their mind tells them this is too much. They stop before they even start. You don't need the whole plan, though. There's no need to see the end. You only need to take one small step. This week, you can open one door. That's the first thing you need to do if you want to speak English. Well, the first door is easy. Say one word today, save your voice. Take part in a short chat. This is not the first thing you should do if you want to change jobs. First, you should make changes to your CV. Pick up a new skill. Send a single application. Your first door. It's not the only thing that matters if you want to change your life. It's a little thing that gets you going. The key is here, not next month or whenever you have time. This week. There should be something real, clear, and doable. Because taking action, not just thinking or making plans, makes things clear. Steps and strong things happen after you take that first step. It gets easier to see the way. The fear gets less strong. You understand that the issue was never the size of the dream. You were trying to see too much at once, which was wrong. Take a quick look up the stairs. Open the first door you see. This is the third thing. Change how you feel about failing. This could be the most important thing I say today, because most people don't start because they don't have time, skills, or chances. They do it because they don't want to fail. They want to be all set. Before they start, they want to be good, but that can't happen. Take a look. You want to talk English, but you're afraid of making mistakes. So you don't. You have to wait. You learn more. You think more, but you don't use what you think. You don't get better because you don't use it. In other words, the thing you want to avoid failing is what you need. What if you changed the way you thought about failing? But not as something that stops you, but as something that has lessons for you. Every mistake teaches you something real. You'll learn the right word every time you say the wrong one. You get better at what you say every time someone doesn't get it. You can't just learn these things in your head. In life, it's the same. You don't lose everything if you try something and it doesn't work. You get more experience. You get it better. You get stronger. Okay? Now accept this. You're not going to get this right. Not a single person does. It's not important to be perfect. To be real. To try. To learn. And to keep going is the goal. Because growth isn't always smooth. This is the fourth thing. Every day, pick progress over comfort. This one is tough since it's always easy to choose safety. You can look through the phone, watch something you already know, put off your work, be quiet, or avoid doing what you need to do. And it feels good at that moment. But growth isn't the same. Making progress is painful. You are asked to try something new, to talk before you're ready, to begin when you're not sure if you want to keep going, even if it's slow. You will have to make this choice every day. Not just once, many times. Moments and choices that are small. Do I stay the same size or do I get a little bigger? It's up to you. Watch random movies for 20 minutes or speak English out loud for 10 minutes. There are two things you can do. Be quiet or say one word. You can wait some more or take a small step. The options here don't look good. They don't feel important. But over time, they turn into everything. They make the difference between the life you dream about and the one you live. You won't make big changes in your life all at once. You will change it by making 100 small, everyday, uncomfortable choices every day when no one is looking. This episode is almost over, so I'd like to take a moment to slow down. I want to talk to you as a person, not as a teacher or someone giving you advice. I know that life has not been easy for you, just like one person to another. I know that some days it's hard to even get through the day. A few things in your past have made it hard for you to trust yourself. I also know that doubt can be stronger than anything else sometimes. It's possible that you've had a dream for a long time, in private, and without telling anyone. You may not be sure if it will ever come true, but I want you to understand this. Well, it's not a small thing that you still have that dream after everything you've been through. It is a strong thing